live the life I deserve. Bless. Fuck a vacay, I feel better at work. I mean whatever it's worth, I give whatever I'm worth. For my niggas who gon' go to hell or back for me, I'ma give them heaven on earth for a hell of a check, yeah, whichever come first. Blessings on blessings on blessings. Look at my life.
10 major keys for tackling your fitness related goals. Yeah. So those of you who know me know I am prepping for California Natural Muscle Mayhem, currently sitting at 27 weeks out right now. And prep has been smooth sailing, honestly, in terms of nutrition and training. Everything's been pretty progressive. I did get sick around like New Year's time, and I'm kind of just getting over that sickness now. If you guys can't hear, I'm actually super excited to get back up to working speed, bring training intensity back up, and just continue to grind it out. 27 weeks out, I'm super excited to bring my best. Let's go. It is the new year, so there's tons of people setting all these lofty New Year's resolutions without having any idea or sense of direction on how to, take action towards them. When it comes to New Year's resolutions, you typically have two types of people. You have people over here, and they're super excited to get after their newfound New Year's resolution. They're excited to tackle something and get after something they haven't quite achieved before. And you have these people over here who are more so on the pessimistic side. They're like, why the hell are these people over here in the gym or, doing whatever they're doing? But first and foremost, let me just say to this group over here, hey, we all started somewhere. You know what I mean? I started at 250 pounds. I was pre-diabetic. Look at me now. I'm in prep for a natural bodybuilding show, guys. So you never know. Today's video, I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about how you could have a successful 2019 taking action towards your fitness related goals or your New Year's resolutions, whether that be building muscle, losing fat, getting stronger. I'm more than confident after you watch this video, you'll have a better sense of direction. You'll have a better understanding of what you need to do to achieve that certain goal. Now, to jump this off, we're going to talk about why so many people tend to fail when taking action towards their fitness related goals. And that's because
they need a well-defined, long-term, short-term, realistic goals.
Many people tend to forget this step. They're like trying to drive a car without any gas or sense of direction on where they're going to go or what they're trying to accomplish. Let's say, for example, a 200-pound male who's just getting into the gym, and a long-term goal for him would be losing 50 pounds and adding 10 pounds of lean body mass. Okay? I feel like that's a pretty realistic long-term goal he could start working towards. And as far as short-term goals, let's say, for example, lose 10 pounds, improve
understanding of lifting and nutrition.
So I feel like that's an absolutely fantastic short-term goal. And how can you even make progress towards, let's say, for example, a fitness-related goal if you don't even have a proper understanding of lifting and nutrition? For someone just starting off the bat, let's say this 200-pound male, these are perfectly great examples of long-term and short-term realistic goals. And you also have to keep in mind, you have to define what achieving that goal is gonna look like to you. And that's just going to deepen how much you think about it and your desire to actually achieve it. And that brings me to point number 2, why many people tend to fail when taking action towards their goals, and that is, I don't know why I put a 1 there, that is energy. Okay? I'm gonna tell you guys right off the bat, if you're not taking your time to put your energy in the right places, there's going to be no change, whether that be improving your nutrition, improving your training, improving your sleeping, improving just, your overall quality of living. If you're not trying to do that right off the bat and you're just pushing yourself through it, doing it for, let's say, like an external factor, oh, I want to look better, and you're not intrinsically motivated about it, you're gonna fail. Honestly guys, energy is the key differentiator between people who get results and people who don't get shit done. And when it comes to making progress in the gym, a lot of people tend to think the harder you go, the more results you're gonna get, when in actuality, that's really far from the truth. I love the analogy Matt August used when he said, you know, beginners or a lot of people, they tend to go in the gym with their eyes closed, just swinging the hammer around, not really looking at where they're hitting, just, you know, doing it for the hell of it, thinking they're going to get something out of it. When in actuality, you should go in the gym with intention. Your goal is like a nail on the wall, and you're just hitting that nail on the wall consistently and maybe a little bit harder over time. Remember guys, wherever you decide to spend your energy, you gotta make sure, like, just think critically about it for a second, okay? Make sure that it's intelligent, focused, structured, and mapped out.
You never went anywhere, but there was this perception that you were the fun master.
In fact, when you focus on just like honestly exerting more and more energy without really taking into account these things, you could be potentially just like building up a lot of bad habits. Let's say, for example, bad form, improper lifting technique, which honestly could just bring up a whole plethora of other issues down the line, and you're honestly just missing out on progress you could be making if you just did things correctly. Which brings me to the third part of the 10 major keys, and that is time. Giving yourself a sufficient amount of time, which is something not a lot of people do. Let me just make something clear. No matter what you do, no matter how perfectly you do it, no matter how smart you do it, you can't outsmart time. Ever heard of the saying, patience is a virtue? When it comes to going to the gym and changing your routine, a lot of people tend to just want instant gratification for the work they're putting in. And trust me guys, I honestly wish it was like that. That's kind of the beauty of this in a way, but that's not how it works. And that honestly kind of ties in to number 4, and that's many people tend to lack the practical
knowledge or understanding.
Many people tend to lack the practical knowledge and understanding of building muscle and losing body fat. That's the truth. This could be because you're a beginner and haven't quite progressed in terms of your level of advancement, or you could just be someone who spent a lot of years doing things incorrectly, building up bad habits. And for most people, the biggest reason why they don't make any gains is because of their training. New board! So I'm about to mention a word that I really want to stick with you all, and that is progressive overload. Now, in order to make any sort of meaningful progress, you gotta understand that you have to be pushing yourself to work within certain intensity thresholds in order to make a good amount of progress, in order to create and push past adaptations. Otherwise, you're just gonna be spinning your wheels and you're not gonna be making any progress, and you're gonna be wondering why. Basically what that means is, if you took person A and they were doing 135 pounds of 3 sets at 10 reps on barbell bench press, for example, and they're not using any sort of progression method as compared to person B, who can do this amount of weight for the same sets and reps, but this person is incrementally increasing their weight over time, or increasing their reps or sets. This person's gonna make more progress than this person would because they're just doing the same shit year round. This is all assuming you are
lifting with pristine, precise form, no technique, break down, the same amount of rest between sets for same rep applying the maximum amount of tension on the intended muscle group.
I just want to make this clear. If you're performing a movement, the prime movers of that exercise will get stronger and grow bigger over time, as long as you are taking care of all this little stuff, especially this. This brings me to the next point, which is
relative intensity.
So, how hard should you be pushing yourself during a given workout? That's a question a lot of people tend to have. Now, there's a couple ways you could go about doing that. Let's say if you were a power lifter, you could lift at 70% of your 1 rep max, okay? And to see any sort of meaningful progress with this, you'd want to train between 70 to 90% of your 1 rep max. And this is just a rough example. There's also another way to define relative intensity, and that's using something called the RPE scale, which stands for rate of perceived exertion. It's basically just a scale that ranges from 1 to 10, and it just basically just describes how hard you're exerting yourself. Rate of perceived exertion, how hard you're pushing yourself. So 10 being the absolute max, 9 being you have 1 rep in reserve, 8 being you have 2 reps in reserve, 7 being you have 3 reps in reserve, 6 being you have 4 reps in reserve, so on and so forth. You, most of the time, a good majority of the time, you never want to be training to true, absolute failure. 10 out of 10 times you never want to go to this range, okay? RPE scale, how hard you should be pushing yourself from a scale of 1 to 10. Now, when you go into the gym, your main goal is to not obliterate yourself. Your main goal is to try and get an effective workout in without driving yourself into the ground, without trying to have to walk out of the gym, barely being able to move your legs because you just wrecked yourself on lower body day. That's not effective in the bigger picture of things, guys. Now, okay, we've spent a good majority of this video talking about a good majority of the lifting side of things, and our main goal is to try and maximize the amount of progress we can make. So we're gonna go ahead and switch gears now, and we're gonna talk about the nutrition aspects and the things you really need to focus on in order to maximize the amount of progress you can make. Now we're gonna jump this next part off with something I feel like many people tend to mess up on, not have a understanding of, and I could see that on both sides of the spectrum, whether that be eating too little or eating too much, and that's just calorie intake. Now, I get this question like a lot, and that's why should I count my calories? Why do I need to track my calories? If you have no sort of quantifiable way to determine how many calories you're taking in on a daily basis, how do you know which direction to move in? That's like trying to go to your destination without maps present, or without Siri on my phone telling me where to go. Now, bulking is honestly a great example of calorie intake because 9 out of 10 times a lot of people tend to overshoot how much weight they need to gain, thus leaving them fat after a couple months of bulking, and then they proceed to either mini cut or cut, and that just turns into an endless cycle. And again, that's not very beneficial in the long term. Let's say your specific goal is to try and maximize the amount of progress you can make. On average, let's say the average male could gain, give or take, 2 pounds of lean body mass per month, and you also have to take into consideration there's a lot of variables that play a factor into this. There's some people who could gain less depending on their level of advancement. If you're more advanced, you're going to gain less than a newbie who's getting into the gym. And you also got to keep it in mind that genetics play a role into this. BBCs, like I said, if your main goal is to try and maximize the amount of progress you can make, and you're more so on the newbie level and the beginner stages, you'd aim at around trying to gain 1.5 to 2 pounds per month, okay? And if you were more on the advanced side of things, you try to gain, let's say, 1 to 1.5 pounds per month. Okay? And this ties into the next point, and that is determining maintenance. Calories. Now, let's say right now you get a food tracking app like, let's say, MyFitnessPal, and start tracking everything you're consuming day in and day out, and it results in no change, then theoretically you're eating at maintenance calories. You'll most likely have a better understanding of this amount of calories that I ate on average every day resulted in either this gain or this loss. So that's pretty much the overall relationship between calories and rate of weight gain. But yeah, so to be more accurate with it, essentially what you'd want to do is weigh yourself every morning after you use the bathroom before you eat or drink anything, and this is just going to give you the most consistent method every single day to be weighing yourself under the same conditions. It just minimizes variability, and your true weight is most likely more accurate in the morning, because like you're sleeping for what, 7 hours, 6 hours, you're not really moving, you don't really have anything going in your body. Makes sense, right?
Weigh self daily after the room before eating. And that includes drinking anything.
Generally, I'd say you'd want to stay within 200 to 500 calories, whether your goal be bulking or cutting, because it's not a too extreme deficit or surplus. And if you do this eating at, let's say, plus 100 calories or plus 200 calories for, let's say, 2 weeks a week, and you take the average of those weeks, so add all weigh-ins up and divide it by 7, it's going to give you a more accurate method of, kind of determining if you are in fact making progress in the right direction or not. And if you're not, gives you enough time to kind of either pull back on a little calories or kind of increase calories if rate of weight gain isn't going in the direction you'd like it to. And one thing I just really want to stress, just please hear me out. A lot of people mess up when they bulk because they gain too much weight too quickly, and I just gotta stress that if your main goal is to build quality tissue, build quality muscle, you have to be gaining longer than 3 months, 6 months. Your surpluses have to go a year, maybe 2 years. You gotta stop with the mini cuts, you gotta stop with taking it too fast, and you gotta be more meticulous about your nutrition. Facts. If you really wanted to simplify things though and determine your maintenance calories, you could honestly just take your body weight and multiply it by, let's say, 14 to 16. 14 on the lower end of the spectrum if you are kind of more on the sedentary side, you work a desk job. 16 if you work, let's say, a super intensive active job and you're on your feet 24/7, let's say like a nurse, for example, or a trash man or a mailman. You get the idea. This calculation right here, like I said, is kind of the estimation method, let's say. and gives you your maintenance as well. Or like I said, and just eat however you regularly eat for 2 weeks on end. Weigh yourself daily and see if that kind of results in a net gain or a net loss. Don't forget to calculate your averages, by the way, because it's just a more accurate way of determining the gain or loss, because there's so much that goes on in day-to-day fluctuations. Like, you're gonna fluctuate on a daily basis. There's a lot of things that contribute to that. Just to recap, if you use the estimation method instead of, doing the trial and error for 2 weeks, don't forget to plus or minus 200 to 500 calories based on your specific goal. Let's say whether that be bulking or cutting. So there's not much room anywhere else on the wall. So I'm going to put our final one, number 10, right here. And this is probably the most simplest, one of the most important nutrition aspects you need to take into consideration, especially if your goal is to try and improve your body composition. This is something you don't want to be under eating in, and that's your protein intake. Now, a good amount and a large body of research tends to point that 0.8 to 1.4 grams plus per pound of either body weight or lean body mass is the general range anyone who, lifts or wants to improve their body composition should be eating at. There's a good amount of reasons for this, just to give you guys a small understanding. Protein is thermogenic. It helps support lean body mass retention, helps us build muscle, the list goes on and on and on. But you'd most likely be on the higher end of the spectrum if you're more advanced, or if you like protein, and you'd most likely be on the lower end of the spectrum if you're, let's say, a beginner, for example, or don't generally like protein, or are smaller and leaner, or don't like protein. But who doesn't like protein, right? Honestly, if you're watching this video right now and you clicked on it with the intention of learning how to better tackle your fitness related goals, you're honestly taking a lot away. You understand how to progress in the gym. You understand how hard you should be exerting yourself. You know how many calories you need to be eating at. You know how to determine if you're gaining or losing in an effective manner. You know how to calculate your calories, and you know how to determine your protein intake. I guess the only thing left for you to do was determine your carb and fat intake, and honestly, that's all relative to what your calorie intake is. For example, you could do high carb, low fat, you could do low carb, high fat, you could do high carb, moderate fat. There's not one size fits all, and there's multiple methods and approaches you could utilize in order to, make progress towards your certain goal. And that's where individualization really shines and comes into play. I might have talked about a lot of things you guys might have not anticipated I would talk about. If you clicked on this video expecting the one secret that will take your nutrition and training to the next level, I'm sorry, you didn't get that. You got much more. I know, you're welcome. Just kidding. But yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and took something valuable away from it. I'm really gonna push myself to start making these videos more and be more consistent with them, especially now that I'm prepping. I have to capitalize on that, and I really just want to, especially going into 2019, I want to broaden my impact, and I want to educate more people. I want to help more people as much as I possibly can outside of my clients and the people that I already provide value to and help on a daily basis. And 2019 is the year, guys. I'm super hyped to chase after my goals this year alongside you all, of course. And if you took something valuable away from this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for future content, guys, because in doing so, you're gonna keep me motivated to keep making these videos. So comment down below if you guys have certain topics you would like me to either elaborate on or talk about, or different type of content you'd like to see on the channel. I'm open to all feedback. So It was great chatting with you guys. Hope you took something valuable away, and I look forward to talking to you guys in the next video. You already know who it is. Thank you guys for the love and support. Peace out.